Hello, everyone. Today, I'm going to share with you guys an unexpected event in my life. But before getting into the video, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more interesting and engrossing real couple stories. Let's backtrack and revisit the year 2020 when I got married to a young and pretty girl named Jennifer. Jennifer used to be my brother's sister. I met her for the very first time in my friend's birthday. I really attracted by her charming and full of life nature. So I proposed to her and soon we got married. Everything was going perfect. Yeah, I do agree that she used to be an irresponsible from the beginning for our marriage. Like I remember she really was not familiar with home chores and other responsibilities of being wife, but I never considered her this on my nerves. In fact, I used to help out my wife in different works while our physical relationship was really good. She used to be very seducing and alluring. I remember she was so fond of bad DRS that she used to be ready every time I used to ask her to be physical. After about 3 months, she even became familiar with the domestic chores and responsibilities of life. Our weekends were really joyful and interesting, where we used to order food and often went to shopping or at restaurants. In simple words, nothing but going perfectly. Alright. So I got promotion in my office and responsibilities were also increased. I agreed that my salary was pretty good after promotion. But I remember I started reaching house late due to excessive workload. I was literally doing all these efforts in order to earn maximum because I wanted to give my family a better future. I remember my wife used to call me a lot during my work time. In fact, whenever I used to go home late after getting free from work, she literally used to cuddle me tightly. And that 2 initial months of my job promotion was indeed very tough, where I did not have enough time to enjoy weekends because I used to be occupied in my office work. But during this time, instead of supporting me, my life changed a lot. I remember she stopped calling me whenever I used to be at my workplace. In fact, when I used to call her, she stopped responding to me. Even sometimes she used to decline my call like she was busy somewhere. I noticed one thing, that she used to remain so busy in her mobile phone that she even did not consider my presence in the house whenever I used to come back from a workplace. Her behavior was literally beyond my understanding. One day, something really unexpected happened. I remember it was a Saturday's night. I was really very excited to enjoy that weekend with my wife as I got free from my office work after long times. But that day, something really unexpected happened. I remember when I reached the house, my wife was occupying in her mobile phone. I remember I took some snacks and popcorn for my wife that night. But she was not taking any interest in me. When I asked her the reason of a continuous ignorance, I remember she was literally like a fish out of water. After hearing my concern and cunningly begin to say that she was actually congratulating to her friend who just gave birth the baby. I remember after hearing this, I moved close to my wife and said that I wanted to have a baby too. I was expecting my wife to respond to me lovingly. But her response was just out of my mind. She literally panicked and said that she did not want to become mother in this young age. Her words were really disappointing, and she was never like this before. In fact, she used to love babies a lot and often said that she wanted to become a mom soon. Well, I did not say her anything for the very first time. I found her so inactive and restless in bed. Like I remember she was taking no interest in me, and it seemed like she was tired or did not want me to touch her. Well, I slept, but at about 3 am of the night, my eyes got opened in order to quench my thirst. I did not find my wife anywhere in the bedroom. Well, I did not consider it. And again, slept. Coincidentally, my eyes again opened at about 4 am of the night. But that was really perplexing that, again, my wife is nowhere in the bedroom. I stood up in order to see her and went out of the house. I did not find her anywhere. I was really worried about her. Meanwhile, I heard some sounds coming from the laundry. It seemed like someone was at the laundry as I could feel the conversation. Well, when I went to the laundry, its door was latched and I knocked on it. My wife unlatched the door after about 10 minutes after finding me in front of her. She was literally like a fish out of water. I had never seen her so confused. It seemed like her life was just going to reveal as she was literally shivering. When I asked my wife what she was doing in the laundry. At this time at first, my wife just remained quiet late. She said that she was assembling all untidy clothes as she wanted to wash them. I remember she was not even making eye contact with me. She was literally sweating in the winter season. Well, I did not say to her and asked her to sleep. I remember when she was coming with me in the bedroom, she was fixing her shirt. My wife's activities were getting more and more strange day by day. One day, something really unexpected happened when I reached the house very early from my workplace. As I was having a headache, I was shocked to see my wife coming outside of the house. I remember she was wearing a revealing crimson-colored dress. It seemed like she was going somewhere because she was wearing a lot of makeup. As well. As soon as she found me in front of her, she was tremendously confused and began to give unusual gestures to someone. But when I looked behind in order to see to whom my wife was passing gestures, I did not find anyone. When I asked my wife where she was going, she said that she was going to her friend's birthday party. When I asked my wife, I dropped her off at friend's house. She refused and said that her friend had invited only her and then left. When my wife's activities were really thought-provoking. I did not suspect her even. But one day she did something that was really worth thinking about. I remember I was drinking coffee in my bedroom. Meanwhile, I got craving for more sugar. So I went to the kitchen in order to take sugar. When I reached the kitchen, my wife was in call with someone. To be honest, I had never listened to her conversation silently or steadily before. But this time my wife did something unfair. Her conversation on the call compelled me to listen to her secretly. I remember she was giving a flying kiss to someone in the call. She was talking about money. Like if someone demanded her to give him money. I remember my wife was calming down someone and was making sure someone that she would send money. Don't worry, blah, blah. My feet froze. It will crystal clear that my wife was in a relationship with someone because the way she was talking on call and her soft tone with person on the call was a red flag. I remember when my wife reached bedroom, she was really very upset when I asked her where she was. My wife said that she was making pasta for herself. When I asked her to taste me some pasta, my wife cunningly said that she had eaten all pasta in the kitchen. I remember she was really very nervous that she was continuously walking. When I asked her the reason of her depression, she said that one of her needy friend wanted to have some money. I knew my wife was asking money for her boyfriend. I was really furious at that time, but I took some courage and tolerated, and I denied my wife and said that I had no money. Right. At the moment I remember she panicked and in fact, called me poor as well. Her behavior was getting worse day by day. So I decided to give her a lifetime lesson. To be honest, I really loved her from my pure heart. But the way she was deceiving me was not worth forgiveness. I really wanted to see my wife's affair partner. So I created a drama that was really a turning point of my life. I remember it was a Monday's morning. I was preparing myself for the office. My wife was in the kitchen and was preparing breakfast. She seemed really upset. I remember her phone was continuously ringing. My wife came out of the kitchen and gave me my breakfast. She was really so upset that she forgot to add sugar in my tea as well. I really knew why she was doing this because her affair partner was continuously asking her for money. I acted vaguely in front of my wife. Like if I had participated in the lottery. I remember after hearing my words, my wife seemed extremely excited. She heard me went to the kitchen to take sugar for my tea. She was trying her best to make me happy. I had never thought before that my wife would be so greedy. I really wanted to share this matter with my friend and wanted to tell him about her sister's affair. But I kept quiet as I wanted to have some evidence. Well, I remember when I reached the house, my wife was holding a cup of coffee. Her fake obedience and courtesy was really irritating. She was continuously serving me food. I knew that she was actually doing this all because she wanted to have money night. I was just about to sleep while my wife came. I remember she was wearing a hot and attractive cherry-colored lingerie. She was trying her best to seduce me while I got high that time. But to be honest, I did not want to be physical with her. As I was so disappointed in her, she wore her lingerie and moved towards me. I was literally shocked to see some bones in her body. It seemed like someone had kissed her because I'm sure that they will love bites. When I asked my wife where she got all these marks, she said that 2 days back, she went to one of her friend's house. Her friend was having some allergies, so she got the same allergy. I knew she must be lying with me. My wife asked me about the lottery. She seemed highly excited for the lottery. Well, I told her that there will be announcements of the winners soon. Maybe tomorrow. I remember that night, my wife was talking to someone on the phone secretly and was discussing my lottery. I pretended that I was sleeping, but I was actually listening to her conversation with her affair partner. The very next morning when I woke up, I acted fake in front of my wife that I've won a lottery. I remember she was very excited and happy. She was so crazy after hearing this and she literally jumped. She asked me for the 50%. As according to her, she would give it as a loan to her friend. Well, I gave her a fake check. She was literally so happy. Well, I went out of the house and hid at the back of the house. I was damn sure that my wife would definitely go to her boyfriend in order to give him money. As soon as she went out at the house, I secretly and steadily started following her. I kept following her. My wife stopped at the apartment. I followed her more. And finally my wife went into the bedroom of her affair partner. I secretly hid myself at the back of the door. I took a camera in order to capture everything. My wife, affair partner, was really handsome and young. I was shocked to hear that my wife was planning to divorce me. I remember that she was continuously kissing her affair partner, but he was not taking any interest in her and was continuously asking for the money. As soon as my wife gave him the check which I had given to my wife, had affair partner literally pushed her back and said that he was playing with her emotions. My wife began to cry loudly and asked him the reason for his unusual behavior. Her boyfriend told her that this check was fake. After realizing this, my wife apologized to him and promised him a lot of money by selling my car. She was planning a luxurious life with her boyfriend. I appeared in front of them. My wife was literally like a fish out of water finding me in front of her. She was so confused that she bent her knees on the floor. At first, her boyfriend kicked me out of his bedroom and pushed me back. But after a lot of girl, he broke up with my wife as he was sure that I would divorce my wife, and then definitely my wife would be having no money because she used to give him money by my accounts. Her boyfriend confessed that he was just trapping her in order to gain money. My wife screamed loudly and confessed that she started dating him a few months back. She found him on Instagram. She said that her boyfriend often used to come to our house for physical activities. My wife apologized and begged for forgiveness, but I did not say her anything and divorced her. At the moment, I sent my wife a video to her brother. She was asking me for the patch up, but I denied because there's no way to have her again in my life. What would you do if you were in the same situation?